Hey there, I'm Jen Ferguson with Artistic Painting Studio, and I have a super fun project for you. We are going to be transforming a felt hat using our foils. So as I said in the very beginning, I'm super excited about this project. It is a wool felt hat, and I kind of have a plan, but then not a complete plan, so we'll see. The first thing I want to do is take off this band, and it is stitched in a few places, so I am just going to try to pull this away and try to cut those stitches without cutting the hat and without cutting me. A seam ripper would be great, but I don't happen to have one of those here, so we're just making do with what we do have around the studio. I'm sure you guys are like me. We just find something to make it work. Okay, let's see if that is it. Oh, look at that. I found them all finally. So, like I said, I'm going to take you guys through the whole process. Now I can come on the inside of the hat and pull out all those threads. So, we now have a hat to work with. Just double check. Make sure you did get all those extra threads. Okay, I'm finding them on the outside as well. I guess I didn't catch them all. And trim off anything that you need to. If there are some threads still poking. And I know we're going to put a band back on, but just try to clean everything up the best you can. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to take this Rust-Oleum 2X dark walnut, and we're going to spray this hat a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to spray it 100%, but I thought the dark walnut would look really pretty with this color and kind of the whole idea I've got as far as the foil and everything else I want to do. So we're going to go give this a try. We're going to head outside and do a little spraying. Okay, like I said, I've got, hard to show you guys there, it's dark walnut, Rust-Oleum 2X, and I'm not planning on covering the whole hat. I just want to get some color on here, okay? Okay, spray until you're happy with the way it looks. I'm not too much worried about this ledge because I'm most likely going to have foil completely on there. The spray paint, you guys, added so much fun character. You can always do as much or as little as you want. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to seal this felt. We're going to use Final Coat in low gloss, and putting this on the rim area, or brim, because that is where I plan on doing some foiling. So I'm going to pour this out onto a plate, and we are going to brush the entire surface, and I'm going to tell you, it's just going to soak it in, and we need to try to seal this as well as we can because we don't want our foil adhesive soaking into the felt because we won't have enough stick for a really good transfer. We might have to do several layers. I'm going to get this first one on here really good. We'll allow this to completely dry and determine, once this is dry, if we have to put a second layer on. And I've done a few felt hats, so all of them have a little bit different texture. This one is a pretty smooth felt. Some of the other ones I was working on, I don't know, were just thicker and seemed like they soaked in the clear coat, the final coat, really, really well. I think we had to put 2 coats on. So again, just critique your own project, your own hat, and determine if you're going to need a second coat or not. Okay, allow it to completely dry and critique it once it's dry. Determine if we need a second layer or not. So we're just going to give this some dry time and admire it as it is for now. So I feel that it did not seal it really well, but it also feels a little bit more fuzzy. So I'm going to grab some sandpaper, nothing too rough, just 220. And I'm going to sand just the brim area that I'm wanting to foil, just to smooth it out a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to de-hair this, okay, from all the fuzz. And I'm going to put on another layer of our final coat. Because like I said, I want this to get really sealed well and make sure that we've got that surface super, super sealed. Just going to grab a clean plate. We are again going to use our final coat. And brush on another full layer. Again, the reason for the sealing is we're just trying to make this as non-porous as possible so that we can transfer our foils to their best release. If our foil adhesive soaks in to the background and to this felt too much, we might not get a really good release from the foil. So I'm just trying to get the best release we can. So depending on the thickness of your felt and how it fills after that one coat, you might try the sanding and putting on a second coat. If you feel it's sealed well, then you might be able to go right to your foil adhesive, okay? But we're gonna go for the extra mile here and just put on another layer and just try to get this to soak in well to the felt and just seal it as much as we can. Once you have covered it again with another layer of your final coat, you're going to have to let this sit and dry one more time. So we'll be back when this is ready. Okay, we're ready for our next layer on this felt hat. And our next layer is going to be our foil adhesive. And we're using the Artsyville Embellishments foil adhesive, which is designed to transfer your beautiful foils. Now I've already put some out on a plate because it's just easier to work on. And I'm going to cover 100% of the entire rim of this hat, okay? And I want really, really good coverage because the better I have this on here and it doesn't soak all the way into our base, we are gonna get a really, really good transfer of our foil. So that's why we put on those 2 layers of final coat, and I even did some sanding in between to make sure that this would be nice and sealed and we will get a beautiful foil transfer. So just cover all the area that you want your foil to transfer to. Make sure you are being generous and putting on a nice good layer. I don't want to say the word heavy, but don't be skimping, okay? Okay, once you have the entire area covered in the foil adhesive, you're going to want to let this dry, and I would give it a good hour or two. It's just going to depend on how much it's soaking into the felt, but you want to allow it to dry to what we call a firm tack, meaning it's going to feel tacky but not sticky anymore. So we're going to go put this in a safe place, and we'll be back when it's ready. So we are to my favorite part of finishing up these gorgeous hats, and it is time to transfer our foil, which we're using Atticus is the foil that I chose. But your hat should be tacky, okay? It should be a nice firm tack. Let it dry overnight, and that way you know that you're gonna get a great transfer. Okay, what we're gonna do next is cut the foil, okay? This particular foil likes to curl really well, and I want to cut a piece to go on each side, okay? And we're going to give it a little bit of a curve here, okay? So that when we go around the hat, hopefully that's going to lay a little flatter. So you don't have to do this, but it's just going to give us a little bit more control. So I'm going to cut another piece to go on the other side. And again, I'm just going to cut a curve out here. Nothing precise, you guys. And hopefully that'll just allow the foil to lay on here a little bit easier, okay? So I'm just going to drag it up and try to do like from side to side. And I'm going to get this stuck down. I'm going to go ahead and cut here again. And I'm going to cut a few places so that I can try to get a full sheet to lay down if possible. And then we're going to get out a scrub brush, okay? And then we're just going to peek and see, okay? Areas where we maybe don't have enough transfer as we want it. Just put the foil right back down there and then just scrub again. We're working on a lot of texture, so sometimes you're going to have to scrub even a little bit more. I'd grab your toothbrush for this area right up against the top of the hat, okay? And then keep peeking. Oh, what a gorgeous foil transfer this is. And again, if you see any spot where you just didn't get as much transfer, lay that foil right back down, because it's going to go into those little areas maybe that you didn't get as much transfer as you had desired. And then let's just keep going around. This is going to be so stunning. That's so pretty. Okay, if we have a few places that maybe we didn't get as great of a transfer, let's just put a fresh piece there and go back and fill in those areas. Sometimes when you're cutting and trying to lay everything down around the edge, you might have a little few spots that you just got to go back and fill in. So if there's still negative areas, that means there's adhesive there, and a fresh piece should fill that back in. Okay, let's try to do the other side. And again, try to lay that down there. Cut a few spots so we can lay it flat. If you have any areas, like we had a little miss back here, so again, just take a clean, brand new section, and you can fill in any of those areas. Oh my gosh, you guys, look how gorgeous that is. Talk about a custom, beautiful hat. And Atticus was just beautiful for this color. So from here, it's just one of those things where I have purchased a whole bunch of just fun trims that you can use, finding a color that's going to go well with this. We might just grab some black trim just to kind of set it off. Who knows, maybe we'll even put a little bit of another trim on top of there, but you can just glue on your trims, add as much embellishment as you want, and then you can definitely be styling in your new hat, okay? One last thing to do, though, before you add all your trims, is I'm going to suggest that you seal. That way the foils will stay nice and fresh and beautiful for a long time. So you can put our final coat on here. It comes in low gloss or semi-gloss, whichever sheen that you're looking for. So if you want to knock down the sheen a little bit, go for the lower gloss. If you want to keep them bright and shiny, stay with the semi-gloss. And that's all you need to do for finishing it. Like I said, embellishing is up to you, how much trim or other things that you want to add. So I hope that you have thoroughly enjoyed this video. Do us a big favor and hit that subscribe button so that you will always know when we are posting a new video here on YouTube. And all the details for all supplies and materials will be in the comments below.